Now we're going to take a look at where science itself has come. There's a number of convergences between all the branches of modern science and the truths of the Torah, and the crumbling of opposition within science at the highest levels to the truths of the Torah is astounding. It's a study by itself. The world is rapidly changing. I'll point out just a few. In physics, they've come to understanding that there's an anthropic principle in the cosmos. What does that mean? Like anthropology speaks about the scientific study of people, their origin, and so on. Anthropic principle means that the laws of the universe appear to have been designed to force, to create the conditions, they were planned to establish conditions for life, organic life, and specifically for human life as it is conscious, rational, and free-willed. And this seems to be integral to the laws of nature. This is an outcome of two major thrusts in the sciences. The science of the very small, which is quantum physics, which has a principle called observership, which means that we are helping to create reality. Reality cannot exist on its own, but we bring it from potential to actual. And at the large scale, cosmology, where the cosmological constants, the balance of, for example, in the different forms of gravity, inertial mass, and the other form of mass. There's two forms of mass, I forget the term for it. The forces that explode a star and the gravitational forces that attract the star. Those balances are so finely tuned that some of them, if they were off in one part in 10 to the 40th, meaning a 1 followed by 40 zeros, there would be no stars the size of our sun to sustain life such as ours anywhere in the universe. People understand that that is a rationally compelling demonstration that somehow we were planned for before the beginning of this cosmos. Not religious people. People that started with materialistic science have come to this conclusion. That's the anthropic principle. The second thing, the biology of consciousness. People used to believe that your brain is just nuts and bolts, that your emotions are just a function of hormones, that there's no such thing as a soul. That really, it's all a materialistic model. We're just machines. We're biological machines. That view has virtually disappeared from leading edge science. They talk about the self and its brain, that the mind is a non-physical entity in association with the physical hardwiring of the brain. A number of experiments that have been done to show this. And the last example that I'll give is chaos theory and the global environment. Another primary concept in science has been that we are basically accidents of nature. And not only are we just a material entity, but we were not an intended entity. That everything happens by chance, since all natural processes have a random element, so there is no real cause to anything, and we just are, as living systems, a hiccup, a glitch, and anything could possibly happen. It's a gigantic universe. There may be many parallel universes, and we just happen to be the lucky ones, because you'll only find life in such a universe where you happen to be. That's not surprising that you observe that there's life, because you are, after all, here. You're the lucky ones. You think that the whole world turns around you. It's not true. The old view. That is the old view. The new view is, in science, that individuals are empowered to have an impact not only on their own selves, to govern their own system, their own wellness through their non-physical mind. That's psychoneuroimmunology, for example. We'll speak about more later. But we can also, with our mind, have an impact on our physical environment, which has already been demonstrated in many different ways, until the extent that it can affect the environment as a whole. As the famous butterfly effect of Lorentz, the meteorologist, been very well established, that very tiny changes, perturbations in a system, can rapidly result in an entire change in the system. And therefore, you act local, think global, you do one thing, you could change the world. It's not a dream. It's not a religious principle anymore. It became part of the mentality of modern culture. So, how are we time-wise? I'll just come back to the first point I made regarding the anthropic principle. What is this idea of the anthropic principle? That the world is designed for man. There has been historically big opposition to this idea. And the opposition is, as I said, everything is according to luck. If you get enough luck. So we're the 1 in a billion chance. But the concept is a little bit different. For example, let's say we were 1,000 people. And these 1,000 people entered a lottery. And let's say you won the lottery. So that was fun. Go on a holiday. Let's do the lottery again. And the same 1,000 people are going to enter the lottery. And you win again. You go, wow, she's pretty lucky. And let's say we did the lottery again. And she won a third time. You're going to want to play a fourth time? Are we related maybe? Who drew the ticket? Who ran the lottery? What's really going on here? Is it a put-up job? Now, that question will not arise if 1 billion people were in the lottery and she happened to win. The chances of winning a 1 in a billion lottery is 1 in a billion. The chances of winning 3 1 in 1,000 lotteries is the same 1 in a billion. 1 in 1,000 times 1 in 1,000 times 1 in 1,000 is 1 in a billion. So why are we asking questions when somebody wins a 1 in a billion lottery? Because there's a unity of the phenomena. There's something beyond the statistics. There's some coherence. The unity is, in this case, it's all about her. The unity is with the cosmological constants, it's all about us. Because the balance is such that we need this, we need that, we need the stars, we need water to freeze at a certain to be less dense when it freezes. We need so many things simultaneously that it makes no sense to assume that they were by luck. That is the argument against those that say we're just lucky, because the unity within the system requires itself an explanation.